So I want to get some videos made, and I looked up popular ideas for videos, and it was something like 12 popular ideas for videos, and none of them really work for our clique because they are somewhat stupid. You take what makes for a popular video, like across the board, across for the YouTube audience, and you could end up with the pacing and production style of Mr. Beast. You know, with that da 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 da, 3 reasons, and the one at number 2 is gonna really blow your mind. Let's get started. Let me explain. But so it's crap like that, and I want to come up with some predictions. Yep, and I want to hear everybody else's predictions too. I want to hear predictions for the presidency. That's what I want to hear. Do you think Biden's going to run again for the Democrat Party? And if not Biden, then who? Do you think Trump is going to run again for the Republican Party? And how's that going to handle? I've been reading Trump calls it the January 6th unselect committee or deselect committee findings. 845 mother-loving pages. Within those pages would be the answer to how to defeat Trump if you had him in a debate, like an open forum debate, say during the primaries. I think something that pundits fear would be a split ticket, meaning if you have a Ron DeSantis, for example, running on the Republican Party, and Trump has trouble getting the Republican nomination due to the, now believe in it or not, due to the skeletons in his closet, it's enough to maybe not make him as strong of a candidate as DeSantis would be. And he makes a third party, or the threat of a third party, and the theory being that he would pull off more Republican votes than he would Democrat right-leaning votes, thus allowing the Democrat Party to win out. That'll be interesting. I think that DeSantis is going to be in the Republican primary, and I think that one of 2 things is going to happen. Either they're going to roll and have some not bring it up in the primary about everything bad, or 2, the January 6th stuff comes up, the party essentially splits itself, Trump makes a third party, and then the Democrat gets reelected. If the Democrats are able to come up with somebody different than anybody else that they've fielded to this point, I think that if they were able to find a Democrat centrist, then they would surely win, because you would end up pulling off Republican votes as well as getting the solid Democrat votes. But I don't know if the closest thing to a Democrat centrist would be maybe a Tulsi Gabbard. But it would take a lot to have something like that go through. Do I think now would be the time for a Andrew Yang and a universal base income? It'd be interesting if that was him and if he went for it. I think that and I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd have to be next year or towards the end of this year, you'd have to have like some serious breakthrough with self-driving vehicles and robotics. And then you can really justify the UBI being, you could push the, 33% of people are going to be losing their way of making a living. But could be interesting. I will say one thing, and I don't mean this to be ageist, but make of it what you will. How come the presidents lately are of such an older generation? It makes very limited sense. Take a person the age of Obama, it makes more sense than some of the dinosaurs that are rolling around that have, it seems like no matter how many times you tell them, they have zero comprehension that something called the internet exists, and that in 2 seconds a talking point can be researched, refuted, given 3 examples opposing what was just said. It blows my mind that habit cannot be broken in someone. You got to be like that Kylie McKenna. You got to be understanding that somebody's going to have the oppositional data with 3 different resources. Somebody's going to have that, and you need to be ready to answer for that. It's wild that hasn't been able to happen. It's similar to the singular focus that I noticed in Trump in his last year or 2 years in office. It seemed to happen a lot more along the lines of COVID. He seemed to be very much like a 3 or 4 topic type individual. So my prediction, the next president of the United States golly. I don't know. Man. I do not know. Joe Biden.